Hey guys, welcome along. Richie here. Today, I just want to share with you some quick tips on exercise. A lot of people find themselves running around the block over and over and over, pounding the pavement, and then, 2 weeks later, they wonder why they're not getting results. That's because there's a big difference between jogging and, say, other types of exercise that are much more effective at losing body fat, helping you lose body fat. So if you're wanting to get into that slim bikini body, if you found yourself, the usual roller coaster of losing weight, then gaining weight, of looking in the mirror and feeling dissatisfied, of, getting that favorite pair of jeans and then not being able to fit into them anymore, and they're sitting in the closet still, and you don't want to throw them out because you want to, fit into them one day, then listen on, because a lot of people, a lot of women in particular, are affected by this. Of course, men want to get the six pack and that sort of thing, but this is more of a focus for you girls, for you women. So we're going to really target the female physiology side and really go into some easy to understand applications to exercise that you can apply right away. So let's just jump into it. So what's a common approach, right? You probably got some friends who they've said to you in the past. I remember when I was much younger, I'd have roommates who would always, say something like, "Oh, I'm so sick of, you're trying to put on my jeans in the morning and having this muff on top, flow over, and I really want to, trim up these tuck shop arms, as they call them here in Australia or New Zealand." and so, I'm sick of this. I want to go out and I'm gonna go start exercising. I'm just gonna go for it. What do they usually do? Well, in this case, roommates, this one in particular, this one girl, she got really upset. Then she's like, screw it, I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna burn this off. So she goes for a run, and I'm looking at the clock, and 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes, half an hour. Before I know it, an hour goes by. She walks in the door, red faced, almost looking purple, breathing heavily, like she just, been running a marathon literally. And she was exhausted. She was tired. She was sore. And I said, what motivated you to do that? And what caused you to go do that? I mean, apart from the obvious. And she's like, oh, when I was running, I just kept thinking, I might as well just go all out because it's going to help me to get better results. If I just give it my all, give it everything, I can get the best results. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever gone and done too much too soon? Have you ever, found yourself or a friend, going out and exercising just way too much straight off the bat? I mean, I know plenty of people and clients come to me and they've done that before and it doesn't work. So that's what we call too much too soon. And why doesn't it work? Well, I mean, first of all, from a psychological aspect, you're really attaching a lot of pain to going and doing too much too soon. So literally, like your first experience of exercise, and you may not exercise for a while, but your first experience of exercise is, oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna run as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and it's so painful. Like literally, your lungs are on fire, your heart feels like it's gonna jump out of your chest, your head feels like it's about to explode, you're sweating, you're profusely sweating. Your skin's tingling, it's itchy, and whatever, your lips are dry, your feet are sore. I mean, should I go on? Yeah, we've all had, we've all been down that road in some level, but this is really not a good experience for our first time exercising for a while. If you've had a break for a year or 2 years or whatever it is, it's not a good experience. So you're really setting yourself up for failure from a psychological standpoint because it's not fun. Okay, it's not fun. It's painful, and it just sucks. So instead, there's a much better way to approach your exercise, which I'm going to go into soon. That's going to actually help you to not only have fun when you first start exercising after you've taken a break, but also to set yourself up long term and still get great results at the same time. The second concern is that people achieve negative weight loss from dieting. Now, this isn't a nutrition seminar, which we do plenty on nutrition in our members area, which you're a part of. So definitely have a look at our nutrition section because we go into a lot about dieting and metabolic damage and these types of things and more. But when I say negative weight loss, this occurs when somebody goes from eating their, quote, normal diet. What is that, right? A client sent through a questionnaire recently that she completed, and she got up in the morning. She had 2 slices of jam toast. Then which she's one of the people that eats breakfast, and then she had a coffee and a muffin at morning tea. And then at lunchtime, most of the time she'd skip lunch, but sometimes she would have like a bagel or some Chinese stir fry or something like that. And then for dinner, she might have like meat and 3 veg, or she'd just have pizza or McDonald's, or sometimes she'd just skip dinner, right? So that's kind of like a normal diet. Well, it's not necessarily conducive, so it's not necessarily going to help someone reach their goals, of course. But as a typical normal, right? But then what do people do? Well, they go, all right, I'm going to go start exercising. So they go all out, they do too much too soon. And the second concern is that they go and restrict their food intake, right? So they go from eating that example, throughout the day, to eating celery sticks and carrots and broccoli and rice cakes, right? And the caloric restriction is so vast that, of course, they lose weight. Right? They lose a whole bunch of weight, but it's negative because most of the weight they lose is muscle. And as you'll discover, muscle is really important in having a high metabolism. And why would you need a high metabolism? Well, in terms of simpleness, high metabolism will help you to maintain a healthy weight. It'll also help you to burn fat faster. It'll also help you to have more energy throughout the day. So when you caloric restrict and you go to eating pretty much nothing, and you're restricting food and you're hungry and all that stuff, and then you're exercising as well, you lose a lot of muscle, which tends to be most of the weight loss. Body fat loss slows dramatically. So even if somebody loses, 1 kilo, 2 kilo in the first week or two, eventually their body will turn on its survival mechanism. The survival mechanism is really just your body's ability to stop fat loss. Because your body needs fat. Like it does, but it doesn't need the same amount. It's just the problem is that the body tries to hold on to as much body fat as possible, unless you trick the body, which is what I'm a specialist in, which is tricking the body to ensure maximum fat loss while still eating the most amount of food and doing the least amount of exercise. That's really my philosophy. My philosophy has been able to have fun, being able to eat the most amount of food and do the least amount of exercise in order to have the highest fat loss results and the highest weight loss, but positive weight loss in terms of fat weight loss. Cool. So negative weight loss, massive muscle loss, restricting food intake a lot causes negative weight loss. And eventually it causes us basically a halt in the metabolism. And then what happens is people hit the plateau. They're like, oh my God, I lost weight for like the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I stopped losing weight. And now I don't know what to do. And now I'm just going to go back to my normal diet because it's too hard. And they go back to eating McDonald's or whatever. And obviously the calories in fast foods and their regular quote normal diet is really high. And so they go and whack all these calories back in, all this energy, all this food back in. And boom, all the weight comes back and some. And by weight, I mean body fat, not muscle. So by the end of it, they end up with less muscle and more body fat. So, and you can quote me on this, the amount of time somebody diets in their lifetime is in direct proportion to the amount of body fat they gain in their lifetime. So the more times you go on a quote diet, the higher body fat percentage you will have by the time you reach age 25, age 35, age 45 and beyond. And some people come to me after doing this for years and they're 25 or 30 years old or 35 years old, and they're at 50% body fat, 40% body fat. Literally half of their body weight is fat. And that's not a healthy place to be because, diabetes and all these things and cholesterol and heart disease and stroke and all these things are all a risk factor for having this high body fat percentage. So we want to really reduce that. So these are some real keys for you guys already that we've gone into in the first 5 minutes or so that will really help you to get results, okay, by avoiding those things. All right, so really the key is lifestyle change. So you want to be able to change your lifestyle, but you want to do it gradually because, as you know, it takes 21 days to start a new habit. So you can't go changing all the multiple